Oh, good morning, everyone. Change of scenery today. Trail through the woods, which means my feet crunching and my heavy breathing will probably be a lot louder today. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I know I did. Some good fellowship and good prayer meeting with my family. My family finally realized how bad seed oils and vegetable oil are, so good weekend. It's amazing to hear how or imagine how these are gonna go in my head, and then when I actually start pressing the record button, it all changes. But I have a story. I was gonna share it on the podcast that I do with Vitaly, Off Grid Your Mind, but I keep putting it off. I was gonna say it the other week. I feel like today's a good day for this story. So some of you know that I was gonna do a winter camping trip that I was very under prepared for. Well prepared for. I have the equipment and everything, just I didn't watch the weather. And it was like the coldest day of the winter. One of the coldest days of the winter, I guess, because the other day was when I actually did episode 1 of the podcast. And when I was getting out there, everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And getting really tired, whiteout, snowstorm, couldn't see, freezing cold. I finally started getting out there, got my snowshoes on, and I was so tired, and I just started and I was already exhausted. And my sled kept getting stuck. I just kept thinking in my head, it kept popping in my head, it's like, okay, I'm just paranoid. There's nothing in these woods that could eat me. Kept thinking, just go back to your truck. It's fine. You're tired. You just came off of fast. Like, just go back home. Get back in your truck. It's nice and warm. And I would ignore it for a bit. Get more cold. Something gets stuck. I'd fall or something. Just go back. You're not that far. Your truck's not that far. You just go back. And I just got frustrated with it. I said out loud, I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back anymore. And that second I thought, I'm just talking to myself, but I felt it in my soul. It sounds so funny, so silly saying this out loud, but I felt that. And I just kept saying, I was like, I'm not going back anymore. I'm only going forward from now on. This sounded so much cooler in my head, but it's all true. And that's why I felt like that camping trip, I kept telling people, like, I feel like I'm being called to the woods. I gotta go out there. My soul needs it. And I thought, at the time I thought it was just to get myself a little bit tougher, but I was right, my soul needed that. It's like when you know something in your mind, you keep saying it in your mind, but you have to hear it for you to really, really get it. I guess I needed some time to get used to speaking to the camera and stuff before I could actually tell that story. But I felt like it needed to be told. And now that I'm getting more and more comfortable talking, maybe I'll start getting more won't be breathing so heavy. I went back and watched some of these and like, dude, control your breathing. Yeah, that's all I have to say for this morning. I've been working through some ideas and stuff to talk about in the future. I'm probably going to elaborate on my very brief stay in the time in the reserves and stuff. I feel like that deserves a little bit more fleshing out. And there's a lot of cool, well, interesting stuff in there about like always wanting to join and then finally joining and finding out some things about myself and finding out that God had a completely different plan for my life. There's a lot of fighting back and forth between me and, I shouldn't say fighting, but basically I was the only one that wanted to do that. No one else in my life wanted me to do it, which makes sense. But it definitely wasn't God's plan for me. And I knew that. And I still pushed against it. So yeah, there's an interesting story with that too. So I don't know if I'll do that tomorrow or, like I said, I'm getting more comfortable, but the length, talking for a while, gets difficult. I start to get into my own head too much. But episode 2 of Off Grid Your Mind hopefully will be out today. So I know a few people, but one in particular has been really asking about it. So it's up. We're hoping, or it's going to be up, I mean. It's only episode 2. We're same thing with this, like just working through some things, planning. Tech is actually something that we're really working on for that. We got to get some decent mics so that those who listen on Spotify can actually, hear things. But that's one of the things I've always wanted to do. One of the goals and plans I talk about is this podcast. Because, like I said, right now we're just talking, working things out. But eventually, like I keep saying in this video, and how, like I say probably several times in episode 1 and 2, is I want to help people help themselves. Give you a little look at this. I might see some deer, turkey today because it's not hunting season. That's when I always see them here. When I actually come through these areas on hunting season, of course. And here's a big patch of ice, so I'm gonna let everybody go before I fall.